And now to the other side of this conflict. An increasing number of British Muslims are coming here to Syria across the Turkish border, despite warnings from the British government not to do so. Some are coming to fight jihad. Others say they're here to support the cause with humanitarian assistance. A 27-year-old activist from Essex, Tawkir Sharif, has been working as an ambulance driver in rebel-held parts of Aleppo. Our Home Affairs correspondent Darshna Soni reports on his experiences. And be warned, her report contains distressing images.
I'm one of them people that it's either 100% or it's nothing. I was a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
An Essex lad from Chingford on the front line of Syria's remorseless civil war. It's midday, and on the 3rd anniversary of the uprising, another barrel bomb is dropped on eastern Aleppo. 27-year-old Tawkir Sharif has no medical training. He used to work as a gas engineer for his father's business.
Go back up. You're good, go! Full lock it.
Tawkir takes the injured man to the Al Bayan hospital in Al Shah, or what's left of it. He's treated in the open corridor. These pictures were filmed by an American Muslim activist who has been documenting foreign fighters and aid workers in the conflict.
The worst thing is we've just taken people to the hospital and there's not enough space, so people have already just been bandaged up and they have to go back to their homes, which are all destroyed. So there's no respite. It's like out of the war zone, back into the war zone. Allahu Akbar.
President Assad is determined to win back these rebel-held neighbourhoods and says he is terrorising the terrorists. But the unguided barrel bombs packed with explosives do not discriminate. This ancient city has been pounded to oblivion as both sides fight for control. Humanitarian assistance can only be delivered with the protection of rebel groups, some of whom have been accused of atrocities. Many residents have been forced to flee, but not all, as Tawkir and his team go back to the hospital, waiting for them outside, a distraught mother with her children. The two young brothers had been playing in the street with their sister when the bomb was dropped. She was just 10 years old. Helpless in his grief, the boy is reduced to screaming obscenities. But the body cannot stay at the hospital. There simply aren't the facilities. And so Tawkir's ambulance is used as a hearse. Tawkir leads the boys back through the neighbourhood as their sister's body is returned home. Outside the house, the men gather to curse the president.
هذا الدمار الذي ألحقه المجرم بشار الفسد بشار المجرم وسنبقى صامدون بإذن الله سنبقى صامدون على العهد باقون مجاهدون على أرض الشام أرض الملحمة عقر دار الإسلام سنبقى هنا وسنريد.
Seen men die, you know, it's bad enough, but it's the first time I've seen women and children targeted. Wallahi, I just watched a little girl, maybe the same age as my little sister, just dead on the street.
Far from home, his London ambulance an incongruous sight on the streets of Syria. Tawkir only ever meant to deliver the vehicle here as part of an aid convoy, but that was 2 years ago. He ended up staying, believing he has a religious obligation. an obligation based on his British values.
Growing up in Britain is that we are the kind of people that should stand up against oppression, you know, stand in the face of oppression. If we see an injustice, we should speak out against it. These are some of the morals and some of the values that I feel that growing up in Britain is what I was taught.
Takir lives near the Turkish border with his British wife Raquel, who's 21. When they married 3 years ago, he already had a long history of activism. He was one of those aboard the Gaza aid flotilla, which was raided by Israeli forces in 2010. Raquel says she was keen to travel to Syria with him, despite the dangers.
Life in the UK was depressing, and it was like a robot routine, and every day was the same. And I can see here, you know, he's doing what he loves, and it makes him happy, which makes me happy.
And obviously, if she wanted to go home at any time, then of course, you know, I wouldn't stop her. People always paint Islam as a religion that is, you know, a male-orientated religion where the men, you know, boss the women around. And
Does he boss you around?
No. No, he doesn't. No.
yeah, I force her to wear that.
The couple have started a project to build an Islamic school for women and children and would like to see an Islamic state in Syria. They work with a number of different charities and say they're regularly sent donations from across the UK.
Welcome to the warehouse. This is where all the magic happens. And obviously we don't want you to film outside because we don't want to risk getting blown up by aeroplane, if that's all right with you. So this is the food corner, and something we all can't live without, Heinz beans, even though everybody over here doesn't know what to do with it. They normally drain the sauce out and we say no.
But Takir claims some charities are now nervous about working with them after increased scrutiny of aid groups by the British authorities. The Charities Commission has warned that some jihadis may be exploiting aid convoys as a way of entering Syria, and that donations may end up in the hands of extremist fighters. There's a fear that those fighters could pose a threat to the UK if they ever return, and so the Home Office has announced anyone travelling to Syria faces arrest and could even lose their passport.
To be honest, I really can't understand how we're having this discussion now in Britain that people's citizenships should be removed, creating an atmosphere of fear. And we've sort of felt this as well, even though we're humanitarians and we work in the charity sector.
Are you a combatant? Are you a fighter?
No, I'm not a fighter. But I do, you know, follow the opinion that some of these people that are being branded as terrorists, you know, maybe they should be hailed as heroes. If someone's going to come here and leave it all on the line to save a child like this, in my book, that's something praiseworthy. The reason why I'm here, I feel that we don't want to be in another 5 years' time, you know, having another memorial for the hundreds and thousands of people that have died here, you know.
Takir says he would like to return home one day, but for now he will stay in Syria until, if this war ends.
That report from Darshna Soni, and for more on the story of Takir Sharif, go to our website channel4.com/news.